So now we're going to be drafting our star lines, all right? And so there's something you need to understand. When we're drafting our dark lines, we need to draw the lines where we want the folds to go. So there's really no rule per se. So wherever you want the folds to go, you draw lines to reach there. However, there are some, there are some standard rules that we need to follow for it to come out perfect and really nice and fitted, all right? So but anywhere you want the folds to go, you draw your star lines on those places. So we're going to be drawing lines which are called our star lines. So two of them we stop at the dart point. This is my dart point here. So two of the lines that we are drawing must stop at this point, all right? So we need to understand that, and then we'll be adding volume to each line so that we can fold them. So each of the line, after drawing it, we will then add volume. We are going to be using extra paper so you can get a contrasting color, all right, so that it will really show very well, and it will even make your work look so neat and beautiful, all right? So you can use a cardboard paper. You can mix a cardboard paper, use different colors of cardboard paper to achieve yours, all right, so that you can get a really neat work. So now we're going to be starting. Remember, our starting point is the basic bodies, and that is what we have been drafting in the previous class. We have drafted our basic bodies, and I told us that we need the whole front piece to, draft our bamboo bodies. We need the whole front piece, and I've taken us through all those processes. So now we need to start putting our draw lines. We need to draw our lines. So I'll start by, I can just come here, look at this point here. I'll just mark 1.5 inch. I'll mark 1.5 inch here. And then I'll let it touch at this point. So that will be my line 1. I'm drawing our line. So this is going to be line 1. And I didn't tell you that, please note the center front, the center point of your bodies. This is just to guide us. So draw a line on the center line, all right, before you start drafting. All right, so I'll just connect this. So once that is connected, the second one, this other dart points here, I'll connect it to this intersection. Can you see the intersection? So I'll connect it. So once that is done, the next thing is that I also need to make sure that at least two of them also, as in one, that I'm going to draw another start line to touch at the arm's eye. This is my arm's eye, and this is the other arm's eye. So I'll make sure that the third one comes this way, and the fourth. And note that we are doing it this way. We are coming to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, like that until we finish drawing our lines. All right, so just follow me as we go. So I'm going to measure my arm's eye. So what do I have here? I'll measure. I have 9.5. So if I fold 9.5 into 2, if I fold 9.5 into 2, I have 4.25. So I come this way and I measure 4.25. This is 4.25. I'll then come up by 1/2 inch. But I just like when we are doing our princess dart, I come up by 1/2 inch. So once this is the point I'm going to be using here, and then I'll find the midpoint of this line, this second line that we drew here. I'll just find the midpoint. I have about 5 inches here, so this is going to be my midpoint. So I'm going to connect it. Just follow. I'll connect it. Once I connect it, this is going to be our star line 3. So this is star line 3, and so for star line 4, we'll also find what we have here. Remember, we had 4.25. I'm going to replicate it here as well, so that I can draw star line 4. Let me do it this way so that I can get it very well. It's a little bit difficult. I want to be sure that I got it. Okay. All right. So here is it. So I'm going to be connecting it as well. So I'll connect it to this intersection. I'll connect it to this intersection here. So once that is done, the next thing is we're going to be putting on our mid shoulder. So I'm going to measure what we have there and divide it into 2. So what do I have here? I have about 3¼ so 3¼ that means this is my midpoint. All right, so I'll do the same thing here. I find 3¼ so this is going to be my midpoint. All right, so once that is done, I'm going to connect. So this is 1 2 3 4, so 5. This is 5, so I'm going to be connecting 5 here. So but before I connect it, I need to find out where exactly I want it to be. So I'll just check what I have here. I have about 8, so let it be at the midpoint, and then I connect. Or I can go out a little. It's too close, so that means maybe like on 3rd I have 8. I'm connecting to like 5 because I feel it's too close to this point. Let me see what I have now. 5½ and 8. Okay, I already told us there's no rule as such, so that's it. I'm connecting to 5¼ and so I'll just draw my star line, or I draw my line. So this is 1 2 3 4 5. So for 6 I'll come here and I'll let it touch at the intersection. Are we following? Please take notes. Take notes. Always take notes so that I can refer to it. Don't, not that when you are trapped, you go back and start playing video, coming back and forth. Always take notes. Have a notebook. Have a writing pad. All right. Always take notes. So that is it. So we're going to be numbering our lines. So this is star line number 1, star line number 2, star line number 3, star line number 4, star line number 5, star line number 6. All right, so that is that. You can see, very simple, and that is our. So now I'm going to be teaching you another method of drawing the star lines. This is method 1. There's another way again where we're going to be using our shoulder dart and the waist dart together. All right, so this is one way. In this case, you can see that we only use our waist dart. It's our waist that we open. The other method is going to be our shoulder dart and our waistline that will be that will be working on. All right, so now we're going to be transferring this dart now all over till we get to dart number 6. So we're going to start from 1, we go to 2, we go to 3, we go to 4, we go to 5, we go to 6. All right, so I hope you are enjoying the class. Make sure you take notes, and I want to see your work. So we're going to be transferring our, we want to start the process now, cutting, adding paper and all of that, adding volume to each of the lines. We're going to be adding volume to each of these lines, and then by the time we are done, we'll put it together again, and it's going to form what we want. All right, so the first, now start with star line 1. That's our line number 1. So I'm going to cut it this way. Right, so I'll put it this way. Can you see? And then I'll hold it down with my paper tape. You need your paper tape. So I'll be holding it down with my paper tape. So you hold it down. You can join. Cut off the extra. I'll just fold it in while we're done. So that's it. Once you're done, you can see we have this space here. So at that space, I'm going to be putting paper. I try to use a contrasting paper so that I can see what I'm doing very clearly. So we're going to put in our paper this way, and then we're going to be noting all the points. This is like, it's looking triangle. All right, it's looking triangle, so I'm going to note all the points. I have a point here. I've noted that. This point here, and then I have this point here. All right, so once that is done, I'm going to connect. And see, it's very simple. Just follow the step. So So that's why I'm taking my time to teach us step by step. All right, as I'm taking my time to teach us step by step. So I'm going to connect. All right, so once this is done, I'm going to add 1 inch for sewing allowance to this 1 inch, because I want a straight line, so that's how I'm repeating that. So I'll draw the 1 inch. So this is going to be my sewing allowance. Right, so let me extend this one a bit more so that it will touch the sewing allowance, and then we'll cut it out. So time to cut it out. I'm going to be cutting it out with my paper scissors. This is a very simple process. Come this way and I cut it as well. So I insert it. Can you see? And I use my paper tape to hold it down. Can you see? And then down the other part too. Right, so once this is done, you can come this way. I use my ruler to trace out those edges where the joining is for easy folding. You're only doing this for easy folding. So once that is done, you can also, so we are going to fold it this way. Just watch. Can you see? See what I'm doing? As you can see, so I'm folding it to meet at this point. So fold it down. You know, the reason for this botch is because, you know, the bust and the way we drafted, right? So the fold is necessary. So you can come here and still press this part down. So once you have done this, see what you have. Let me open it up. Can you see? Once you close it, you know, we are closing it this way. We are coming this way. Let me draw the arrow. You know, this is our center line. So we are folding towards the center line. I'm folding towards the center line. So this is what we have. So all this one now is excess. I don't need it. So I'll just cut it off. So make sure when you are cutting, do your paper like this so that you are cutting. See what we are cutting out though, so that you won't cut the wrong thing out. That's what we are cutting out, because it's excess. It's shooting out. We don't need it. We don't need it. So we cut it out. So once we cut it out, we have something like this. Can you see? Can you see? All right, so the next thing we're going to do is to go to the next one, number 2. This is number 2. So for number 2, we have, okay, here too you can also, now that this line is visible, this our fold line is visible, you can make it, you can still make it more visible. You can draw your line on it. All right, let me use the biro. So now this line, I'm going to extend this to touch at this center line. Do we understand? I will extend it. So let me extend this. So I want you to touch here. Can you see? So it has touched here. Can you see? So this is line number 2. All right, so we're going to go this way. Just watch. I'll come like this. Once I reach this corner, I'll cut. So once I've cut, I'll do it this way. Can you see? I've closed here now, and here is opened up. I hope we're following. So I'll hold it down with my paper tape. You see. So the next thing is for us to also put paper here like we did. So I'm going to put some paper. I'm going to be noting the points. So I want to draw out another triangle. Can you see? So we'll come this way, we'll note these points here. Can you see? I'm going to note here. Can you see? I'm going to note here. I hope you can see all the places I'm noting. So I'll take it out and I'll draw out my triangle. I'll come here and draw out my triangle. So I'm going to join these points here. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Once I've done that, I'll come down by 1 inch. 1 inch. 1 inch because I want a straight line. So I'll connect. So once I've connected, I'm going to be cutting it out. Okay, so I'm going to paste it. So I'll cut the excess. I have excess here. I'm stopping at this line. You know, this is the sewing allowance. So I need to cut out the excess. So cut out the excess here. So that is it. All right, so the next one we're going to do is line number 3. This is line number 3. So I'm going to connect it to. So no, but before I do that, just like we did here, I'll also fold this to this part, to the center front. This is our center front, so we are folding this way. We're folding towards this direction. So, like I said, you can always do this just to make it easy for you to fold. It's not compulsory. Just to make it easy for us to fold. You know, this part is the bust point, so it's going to be a little difficult to fold. Not really difficult, though, because of the bulge there. So I hope you can see what I'm doing. So I'm making sure it's touching this other line here. Can you see? So I come here and I flatten it out at the back, so that it can rest well. So this is what we have. Can you see? So if you decide to do everything, you've done 2. This is 2. This one shooting out now is extra, we don't need it. Can you see? So we're going to be cutting it out here. Don't cut the waistline, it's the excess that is coming out that we're cutting out. So as you can see now, we have folded 1 and 2. So we cut out this part.